morning, dignitaries of dais, friends from the media entertainment business of India. The IIFAs began in the year 2000, really continuing the journey of Indian cinema as it powers its way across the world. The IIFAs began with a simple vision or a simple plan to really go out across the world and share India's story. We want to promote Indian films, and with that, we said let's take our films to where the fans are. The fans can't come here, but let's take our stars, take our directors and our films to where the stars are, where the fans are. In that one simple decision, unfolded what we believe is a vision to connect communities, to connect nations, to connect businesses, and to connect cinemas. And that journey began in the year 2000. In the year 2000, the collections from international markets for Hindi cinema was a fraction of what it is today from the international markets. Today, there are Hindi filmmakers who make a film keeping in mind only international markets. That's how much Hindi films have managed to power their way across international markets. And really what unfolded in all of that was an opportunity to connect markets, an opportunity for film tourism, an opportunity for all of it. Today, humbly, we stand before you, having learned with one cinema, we now would like to work along with you to take our South Indian cinema across the world. So today really is just that beginning. And I thank all of you for being here with us and for supporting us in this vision of ours. At the heart of this vision, as we traveled across the world, we found to every country that we went to, there were a few things that happened. Tourism to that country grew by anything from 25% to a phenomenal 102%. Interestingly, room nights grew dramatically. Also what happened, co-production treaties were signed between those countries, between those destinations. Also interestingly, treaties were signed between distributors. Co-productions were formed, and Indian films began to be showcased in cinemas on Leicester Street, in a place like South Africa where Indian films were not being released, in Amsterdam where prior to the IIFAs, there was no Indian film released in the Netherlands. So it's an interesting journey where you see Indian films going and being placed across the world. The first Magnet Tussauds statue by any Indian film star was announced at the first IIFA. Today there are about 10 Indian stars who've been immortalized in wax at Magnet Tussauds. And Magnet Tussauds' biggest visitation that they experience is for the Indian film star section. So it's so interesting that today Magnet Tussauds is looking at setting up its own destination out here in Delhi, only based on India, Magnet Tussauds India. So really what has happened is that we managed to bring people together, bring communities together, and in all of that we managed to showcase India as a power and managed to turn the focus of the world on India. And we'd like to do that, this time with a special focus, turning the world's attention on South India. At the heart of all these relationships and community building, we found that the one thing that stays on in the IIFAs come in a country, 3 days, we had done extravaganza, fantastic party, glamour with all the stars and all the media turning its attention. And that goes away. But what really stayed on in every country is business. Business connectivity, business relationships, and we found Indian businesses investing in the countries and the destinations where IIFA has been held more than ever before. So Indian investments every year after IIFA grew by about 25% to 35%. And investment from that country to India also grew. Films from India began to be made in those countries. Film tourism began to grow. Film distribution began to grow. So this really has been the heart and the fun of being part of the journey and part of taking Indian cinema across the world. We managed to bring people closer together. One people, one world. When we look at Hyderabad and we look at Telangana, we see a very different opportunity. We see Telangana as already an IT hub. You know more about it than anyone needs to say. You have an open-minded, committed government, committed to being able to do things. And in the last 6 months that we worked with the government of Telangana, I can say on oath that it's a can-do this government. I want to do this government. And this is rare for us as we work across the world, as we work in India, across states. Rarely do you find state governments that really go out of their way to engage, commit themselves and try to make a difference. And we've got that in Telangana. You have an educated workforce. You've got capital, investment capital that is local, that wants to invest in the market, wants to make a difference. You have a positive framework for policy and a plan for implementation, and we've seen that come through in the case of the IIFA. The power in the emerging world that we see is going to come from technology, is going to come from broadband connectivity, which we're going to get with our 4G networks, and creative minds adapting to new technology, all of which is apparent and relevant to an educated workforce that is being powered by IT in Telangana. The new forms of entertainment that we see coming through, and I think Telangana has an opportunity to be that powerhouse, is in entertainment, VR, virtual reality, 3D technology. Today, we bring the South Indian industries together. Tomorrow, we at IIFA are focused on bridging India's entertainment creators, bringing all of them together on one platform, irrespective of language, across the country. We'd like to bring Asia's film creators, entertainment creators to Telangana. And more than anything else, we'd like you to believe in your dreams, believe in our dreams. IIFA Utsavam, here, impossible is nothing. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. What a pleasure it is to be amongst you today. I'm probably someone who's most distant from your sector,